Hello, fellow writers. My name is Cheryl. Thank you very much for joining me. Welcome to my channel. I am an aspiring author, and I haven't done a video in quite a while, but I would like to. This whole channel is to chronicle my journey to hopefully someday be traditionally published. So if you like the vibe, please subscribe and like the video. All this stuff you know how to do. I just have some instant coffee and I feel like I'm out of practice. I haven't done a video for any of my channels recently, um, but here we are. It is 2026. That's exciting. The beginning of the year, okay, let's just go a little bit of an update. Last year, I probably had the best year I've had in my lifetime, and I'm 48 years old, so it's been a long life. So it's been really good. As far as writing, not the best. I hope this year that I will finally get to be writing, getting serious, and locking down on writing a book. That's my goal for this year. But as far as my mental health and as far as progressing in being more social, making friends, that kind of thing, I've done really well last year. The beginning of this year has been a bit rough, and I'll let you know about that in a moment because it has to do with this video. So this video is going to be a very chatty one, but then again, when am I not chatty? Hang on, my throat. Oh, I'm so sorry. My throat is very croaky. I hope I'm not coming down with a cold. I do know I have a candle lit right now, and I tend to get like allergies. Smoke from candles are not the best thing for my allergies, but I like the smell of it. So, and I got a candle for Christmas. So, how was everybody's Christmas? How was your holidays? If you don't celebrate Christmas, mine was good. I had a great time. Okay, but let's get into what we're here to talk about, and that is writing. So this video is just going to be a sit down, kind of chatty video. So grab a cup of coffee or a cup of tea, maybe some drink of your choice, and maybe a snack, maybe a knitting or crochet project, something that you want to do while I talk. And let's get started. Okay, so the update. Where do I start? So last we spoke, I talked about starting writing a middle grade book that features a dog named Rosie because of Rosie, the dog I look after. She is not here in the bedroom right now. She is downstairs with her owner, but I wanted to write. The whole reason why I wanted to write that book, as I explained in that video below, or not below, before, is that my aunt, who is very much like a mom to me, has cancer. And she really liked it when I sent her messages in the point of view of Rosie. And so she really wanted me to write a middle grade book about Rosie. And I thought that's a great idea, and it's something I can do that's special, maybe just between her and I could send chapters over. And so I started outlining it, and it started out as just being a collection of stories that I wanted to write about Rosie. And it turned into a full length novel idea about a young girl, 11-year-old, who has Tourette's syndrome. If you don't know, I have Tourette's syndrome. My throat is really croaky. I'm so sorry. Um, I want to write about a girl who has Tourette's syndrome who adopts a dog named Rosie. And then I proceeded to not do anything about it. I couldn't think of a good enough hook to get the reader interested, and I couldn't think of enough scenes to put into the book to make it a full length novel, but I wanted it to be a full length novel. Do you see the struggle here? Then yesterday, as I'm recording, it is what's the date? January 10th today. So yesterday, January 9th, I found out that my aunt's cancer has spread, and she's going to pass away soon. I don't want to go into it. She's very much like a second mom to me, so I'm finding it very difficult. at the same time, she is a believer, and so I know that she'll be going to heaven, and she'll be with my mom and her parents and their parents and everything, so it'll be fine. And I feel like my mental health is better than in a better place than it was when my mom died. And of course, it's different because she's not my mom. But I mean, if I haven't mentioned before, I took my mom's death very hard. I'm still grieving 16 years later, and it's very difficult. So to think of losing another quote unquote mom is just heartbreaking to me. But I think I'll be okay now. It'll be hard, but I'm pretty sure my mental health is better now. Well, I know my mental health is better now, so I think I'll be able to handle it a bit better. That said, she doesn't have long to live. And the passion for that project has dwindled. It actually, to be honest, dwindled before I found this out. Um, so, um, I now don't want to write that book. And I realize that I change books that I want to write quite often. So this whole video is going to be me talking out with you, even though, oh my goodness, even though I can't hear you or see you, I feel like talking to a camera will help me. I'm going to try and decide for once and for all what it is I want to write. Are you there with me? Are you here? Are you excited? I'm excited. Because this year, 2026, is going to be the year where I finally write a book. I might only get the first draft done, but I want to complete a book. So let's get into it. What I don't want to write, let's go with what I don't want to write. I don't want to write gore or horror in any way. I don't want to write a lot of, I don't think I want to write any cuss words because I'm a Christian. I don't like cuss words. I don't want to write them. I don't want to write a book with explicit sex scenes because, again, Christian. But I don't want to write a Christian book. I want to write a secular book or a book that many people can read. Although I don't want to hide that I'm a Christian in the books in the prose. Um, I don't also want to preach to anyone in my books. I don't feel called to that. I don't feel called to have my character quoting Bible verses and things like that. I do want the character to be morally good. Um, that doesn't mean they're a Christian. Just because you're morally good doesn't mean you're a Christian. But um, and I think I do want characters in the books to go to church. But that's as far as the Christianity themes I want to go with. If I ever feel called to write a Christian book, I am more than willing to do that. But as of now, I don't feel like that's what God wants me to write. But like I said, I don't want to hide that I'm a Christian or pretend that I'm not a Christian. So I want my characters to emulate Christianity, but not particularly state that they are Christians. Do you know what I mean? I feel like you know what I mean. Um, also, okay, so those are things I don't want to write. I don't know why I said also. My brain is going a million miles an hour right now, and I'm still also trying to process that my aunt is not going to be with us much longer. So my brain is just not working today. Um, and then again, let's get real. When does my brain ever work? Um, but okay, what I do want to write. I love reading. I love many different genres. If you don't know, I do have a booktube channel as well. Small little plug here. It is called Cheryl Reads All the Books. I will link that channel below. But I do love reading, and I read all different genres and all different age groups. So, part of me still really wants to write the book that I started at the beginning of this channel last year. I believe I might have some older videos or yeah, I believe I have some older videos on this channel. I'm not sure if I do, but the beginning of last year, I started recording videos and saying that I wanted to write a historical cozy mystery. set in the 1920s. I still want to write that. Do I want to write that right now? I don't think so. I think it's on the back shelf, to be honest. I still want to write a middle grade with a protagonist who has Tourette syndrome. That is still something I want to write. It is very difficult for me to write a book with a character who has Tourette's because it's very emotional for me. It's very difficult to express what a person who is doing a tic can feel like. If you don't know what Tourette is, I'm sorry. If you don't know what Tourette is, it's a brain disorder. It's a neurological disorder. I don't, we've had many different diagnoses of how it is caused um, over the last 40 years. But basically, your brain doesn't work properly. And it makes you do little nervous tics, TICS, which are like little movements like this that I'm doing here. That's the tic. Um, and noises, you could be loud noises, quiet noises. One of the most common tics ever are swearing uncontrollably. I don't have that tick, thank God, but there is that. There's over 100, probably over 200 different ticks you can have. I have about 80 ticks. I am well controlled with medication, but I still have my bad days. Um, but it's not a fun disease. A lot of people talk about on TikTok, they and on YouTube and stuff, pretend they have Tourette to get money, and it's they make it sound like a fun disease. It is not fun. It is painful both medically and physically, mentally and physically, as well as emotionally. It is not a fun disease. Okay, anybody who says that having Tourette's is they're okay with it, that it doesn't um, affect their lives, is lying. It affects your life very much so. Anyways, um, so to convey how it feels, I think the hardest part for me in writing about a character with Tourette is I really want to put into words on paper or on a computer screen how it feels inside to do a tick. And it's very hard to describe. And I don't know. And I don't want to do it wrong. I don't want to put it out there that it feels like something it doesn't. But it's very difficult to describe how it feels mentally, emotionally, and physically when you do a tick. That said, I want to put the experiences that kids with Tourette go through, which is bullying, which is kids and adults alike treating them like crap. It's like it's not. My childhood was not fun because of my Tourette. It was very rough. I'm still dealing with some of the trauma I dealt with back then, even now at 48 years old. So I want to calculate that. I also want to calculate the love of friends, the love of friendship, the love of family that I had during that time and still have. And I want to capture that in as well. I really want friendship to be a big part. So let's just say we're going to decide. We've decided. I'm going to write a middle grade. We've decided the age group. Thank you. That was, I wasn't sure if I wanted to write middle grade, but now that I'm talking about it, I think I really do want to write middle grade with a protagonist with Tourette. Do I want to write contemporary or historical? Now, if you know about Tourette, you know that historically, um, even as recent as 1950 or 1940, um, people with Tourette were sent to asylums. They were considered crazy. They were sent to asylums. They were banished from their families, from society. They were called pariahs, that kind of thing. They were not treated well. I am thinking, here's my thoughts. Okay, I just thought of this. This is real time, people. What if my middle grade was about a child with Tourette's in like some historical sense? I don't know what year, but some historical sense. Also, if you have suggestions, let me know. Oh, I got some hair in my mouth. How did I get Rosie's hair in my mouth? She's not even here. But she's got hair all over my bed. Um, okay, I don't know what historical sense I'm going to write, what years, but let's just say the child has Tourette. Back then, it wasn't known as Tourette. I don't remember when Gilles Tourette actually discovered Tourette syndrome or the disease and named it after himself, but I'll have to find that out. Um, Gilles de Tourette or Gilles de Tourette, Gilles, do or de Tourette. I can't remember what his last name was. Him. He's the one who named the disease. Um, I think it was in the late 1800s that he came up with it. I'm not sure. I'll have to find that out. But we're not going to talk about the years right now. What I do want to talk about is what if this child has Tourette, but the parents were dead set against sending her to asylum because there had to be parents like that out there and wanted to raise her as normal as she could. That's what happened to me. My parents were given the option, were advised to send me to a psychiatric home for children. This is very emotional for me. I'm so sorry. Back in 1989, when they found out I had Tourette, because back then it was thought to be a psychiatric disorder, and you were basically, I was told it was caused by stress, that kind of thing. So they wanted to put me in a psychiatric home for children. My parents were against it. They wanted to raise me as normally as they could, and I appreciate that so much. And I had the love of my family. I want that kind of thing to come through, that if you have the right support, a person with Tourette can live a good life. So, um, what if, in historical sense, the parents are pressured to send their child to an asylum or a children's home, but push against it and say, no, I don't want to do that. That might be a good like theme for the story. I think that would be really good. It would also be very hard for me to write, but I like difficult as far as emotional. And then I'm thinking something like a mystery, kind of like a mystery series, like A.G. Morton Mystery Queen, that series, or I'll put the picture of the first book up here. Then there's Myrtle Hardcastle, that series. I'll put the picture of the first book. Um, I love those series, and they are historical middle grade mysteries that have murder in them. I think I want to do something like that because I do love mysteries. I love cozy mysteries, and I kind of want to make a children's cozy mystery. I do want to have Rosie in it still, Rosie the dog. Um, yeah, I think that's a good idea. So we could even call we can even call her like the series the TikToker or something. TIC-TALKER, because that's what I call myself, a TikToker. That would be kind of fun. The TikToker detective. That could be fun. Um, yeah, I'm excited about that. I think that's where I'm gonna go. So I'm gonna start doing a outline on that. An outline. Figure out mysteries. I think what I want is an overarching mystery throughout the series, and then have little murder mysteries happen for each book, much like the Iggy Morton Mystery Queen and the Myrtle Hardcastle series. I love those series. If you haven't read them and you love middle grade, totally recommend them. They go a little bit gory as far as when they discover the death, the murder. There's a bit of blood and like brains mentioned, kind of thing, but it's not too gross for like a child to read. A kid, say ages 9 or 10 to 13, they're really good books. Although I believe in the Myrtle Hardcastle books, I think there's a couple swear words, what I would consider swear words, but a lot of people would consider a swear word. So just know that This isn't a book review. I'm sorry. I don't want to do that. What year do I want to write it in? I have to do some research. Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you for talking this out with me. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm very excited. So, yeah, we're going to scrap the whole project I was going to do with the contemporary Tourette syndrome character with Rosie as the main character. I just couldn't think of enough to make that a book, and I wanted to make it a book. But I think if I incorporate some things from that book, like the friendship I wanted between her and her best friend, I want to put that into the book and have her best friend kind of her sidekick in solving murders. I want Rosie to be part of it as well. And yes, her name will be Rosie because we have to have Rosie represent, right? We have to. I miss Rosie. She's only been downstairs with her owner for like 2 days, and I miss her already. She's just, oh, I love her so much. But you'll see more of her coming up. As far as videos go, I do hope to post more videos on this channel. I'm so sorry I haven't posted much. To be fair, I haven't posted much on any of my channels. I have 4 different channels. I have this one. I have my booktube channel, which I talked about. I also have a knit crochet channel, which is Cheryl Knits and Crochets. And I have a channel called Cozy Gamer Cheryl, where I'm hoping to post some more videos where I play cozy games, like gaming, not board games, I mean gaming. Um, so if you want to subscribe to those, I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, that's what I think I can do. So I'm going to work on this today. I do have a lot of stuff I have to do today, but I'm very excited for this. So yeah, I hope you are too. Join me in hopefully finalizing this is the book I'm going to rewrite. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all your support. I only have like 34 subscribers or something, but you've all been great. Thank you so much for everything you've said to me and the advice you've given. I really appreciate it. If you have any advice or suggestions for this book, I'm willing to listen to any advice or any suggestions for anything to do with the book. Also, what time period should I do this in? Let me know what you think. I'm not necessarily going to do anything that you guys say, just so you know, but I will definitely take into consideration anything you say, so let me know. And that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Happy writing. May 2026 be our best year yet.